Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal. Good morning to all of you out there that are watching. It is Wednesday morning and the sun's not out today, but it's very humid. The weather's humid. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. Yeah, it's Wednesday morning. Yesterday I spent about 4.5 hours round my mother's at Dorrell Gardens in Chatham, and I've been doing videos going through the trauma of my childhood, and there we go. I'm just working through, I'm doing my own therapy. Yesterday I got sent some information by my doctor. My mother's doctor's in Chatham. My doctor is Reg, and he's at Strood St Mary's Medical Centre. My mother and I do not have the same doctor. So the nurse that rang me a few days ago about my depression, they sent me some information about they've put mental health support. Dear Miss Marshall, the following can provide mental health support. Medway Talking Therapies, Mental Health Crisis Team, Samaritans, Mind, Joe at Samaritans.org, Mind. You can also call 111, option 2, or 999 for urgent mental health support. Thanks, Olu Salako. Spoke to me for about 6 minutes about my severe depression and just upped my citalopram to 30 milligrams without seeing me. Fair enough, because I was asked what triggers this depression, and it started again. It had all calmed down and I was feeling absolutely okay, and then over the phone Olu asked me what triggers the depression, and of course I spoke loud over the phone, and she went, oh, the bullying of the neighbours. Yeah, I went, yeah. She went, all that, right? So it was all quiet. That dog wasn't barking next door. That had all stopped. So I take this phone call and it all starts again. And I'll tell you what happened last night when I went for a walk with Max. So, around 7 o'clock, he was out upstairs. He goes out all day in his Ford Mondeo during the week. This is the guy that was making all the noise for 2 years. So he now goes out during the day, and he'll go out sometimes first thing in the morning and not come back till fairly late at night. So it's quiet upstairs. I haven't got the pressure of that noise of those kids running up and down like a herd of elephants. That's gone for the moment, and I'm relishing every moment that there's peace and quiet. But what used to happen when his kids were upstairs, I used to get bullied outside, and I used to get all angry and upset, come indoors, and with that noise above me as well, I used to get angry. And of course, I was absolutely at my wit's end, stood on the balcony because I couldn't stay inside my flat. And everybody outside could see the pain and distress, and they'd shut the doors, turn their backs on me and pretend nothing was going on. Now, last night I went out, like I said, around 7 p.m. I didn't have that good a time around my mum's because I was actually feeling unwell. The heat can make you feel groggy and sick, and I was feeling sick. So I came back and the sickness had lifted a bit, but I didn't go out straight away. I waited till 7, the usual time that I usually take Max, my chihuahua, out for a walk. My mother, Jennifer, doesn't have a dog. And remember that when I was round my mother's, her doctor in Chatham rang her over the phone whilst I was sat with my mother Jennifer in her living room, and they were talking about Jennifer's mental health, who's on a schizophrenic drug, olanzapine. Right, so don't get mixed up here. And all the time I was round there, my mother was saying it was her that's gone through all the trauma. Everyone's copying her, Jennifer. Everyone's being nasty to her, Jennifer. And remember that I'd had a call from my doctor about depression. Depression is different to schizophrenia. For anyone that's got intelligence. So her doctor was talking about her mental health drug, olanzapine. So every time I come back from my mother's, my mum's totally different from me. She's 77. She's got grey hair. She has breathing difficulty. Now that's relevant as well. My mum, due to this olanzapine, has a side effect where she can't breathe very well. It's very raspy. And you've heard my mother's voice on her voicemails, and you've heard mine, but they are covering up what has happened to me by pretending I'm my mother. So I went out at 7 p.m, or they're taking the piss out of me and my mum. I haven't got a clue. So I went out at 7 p.m, and it was quiet on the field. There was nobody on there at all. Right, so it's right by a thick, deep river, a high tide river. So I'm walking around the riverside. I've been given numbers in case I feel like I want to harm myself or have feelings of suicide. I walk by the riverside by myself all the way around. There's no one on that field at all. Then when I come to get off the field, the guy with the pug dogs, the black and white pug dogs that lives opposite me, the first floor opposite me, was walking his pug dogs, and they were going My mum's not that bad, but she does sound like that when she's talking. So I've got two heavy breathing pug dogs walking towards me. Right? So I walk past them. I haven't got breathing difficulty as bad as my mother. She's on olanzapine, and I think that's the side effects of the antipsychotic drug olanzapine. They wanted to up my mum's medication, and she said no, she didn't want it put up. But they put my depression tablets up to 30 milligrams. Right, so remember that medications could cause side effects. So olanzapine has caused my mum to have heavy, very bad breathing, and I'm surprised the doctor hasn't picked up on that and done anything about it to help my mother. But since COVID, doctors aren't really seeing people face to face. I don't think my mother's seen a doctor face to face for over 3 years. Although a nurse came to take her blood at Durrell Gardens a few days ago. So I came back into the flat. And I thought, I'm going to go out. I don't like it, because it seems that every time I go outside my flat, there's a load of hullabaloo, dogs barking, like nobody wants me to go outside, and they can control their dogs. They do it on purpose. I can't prove it, but there you go. I got up a bit later this morning. As soon as I get up, go in the bathroom, the dog on the corner, at Foley Apartments. It's on the corner of Foley Apartments. Woof! 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 That's as soon as I get out of my bed. was weird. I have to go out. I can't stay locked in my flat. I don't see why I should. So remember, I talked to this Ola, or Olu, about, and she mentioned, I never mentioned bullying neighbours. Ola mentioned bullying neighbours, and now this is what we've got, look. And actually, it's not my neighbours that are bullying me. The dogs at Foley Apartments, the pug dogs are opposite. So, I mean, he's quiet upstairs. I don't even hear him come in. And there's just a dog next door that when they go out, it just barks and barks and barks, and it won't stop barking, but they are trying to control it. I've got no complaints. I've not complained to anyone about anything. And as for the cannabis use, that is everywhere. My son said they smoke it in London. Of course they do. Cannabis is everywhere. You can't escape it. You're not going to escape cannabis and drugs. The police don't give a fuck if someone's smoking cannabis. They don't care. At one point someone told me it was legal when it wasn't in 2008. It wasn't legal at all. They used to come out to my flat at Lansdale Court and they were heavy cannabis users. It used to make me so ill. I was ill every day. And the police would come in and they'd say, as long as they're smoking in their flat, Miss Marshall, it doesn't matter. I said, but they're not smoking it in their flat. They're smoking it everywhere. And the police would just walk off. I wouldn't report the cannabis. They'd come out to my flat for something else. And I'd mention cannabis use. And they would say, yes, it's illegal, but there's nothing we can do about it. They'd say that. So I went out to the co-op last night because I'm not going out to the